The following program is brought to you by the Zero DB Movie Podcast Feed.
Hello and welcome back to the solo set here on the Zero DB Podcast Feed. The last Netflix series I did was Altered Carbon, and you can see all 10 reviews right here on this channel.
The following program is brought to you by the Zero DB Movie Podcast Feed.
The next Netflix series I'm doing is in documentary format, and that's called Ugly Delicious. Ugly Delicious is a non-fiction original series on Netflix combining travel, cooking, and history. Each episode highlights one dish or concept and explores how it is made in different regions and how it evolves.
I thought we were going to get food. We're not getting anything.
Each episode examines the cultural, sociological, and culinary history of a specific popular food. The show's host, or guest chef, if you will, David Chang, challenges and explores the attitudes of each dish's lore. Mike Hale wrote in his review for the New York Times that Ugly Delicious is an extended television essay in the form of free associative, globe-trotting conversations about food and culture. The series is 8 episodes long. Pizza, tacos, home cooking, shrimp, crawfish, barbecue, fried chicken, fried rice, and stuffed. That's the last, that's the series closer that looks at the old age debate between Italian and Asian dumplings. Overall, I really like this series. And one of the reasons is I'm a big fan of Anthony Bourdain and his programming. And one of the main reasons for that is how the food is almost second in importance following the cultural, sociological, and culinary history of that specific food or region or country. Ugly Delicious has that same feel where David Chang is very honest and human about how he feels and what he feels, and for me, more importantly, he is honest when he doesn't understand the point of view or when he really enjoys something and is excited and not afraid to show it on camera. Some people think there's a little too much politics in this show, but I say boo-hoo to you. The show isn't only about food, it's about David Chang.
Konnichiwa, bitches.
This is who he is, or at least represented this way in the series, and I think it's honest. I don't like safe shows about food or just breaking the food down with no personality. It's refreshing to see someone's honest opinions about the food industry and just food culture altogether. And let's give it up to Chang's co-host, Peter Meehan. Peter Meehan is the former New York Times $25 and under restaurant critic and the co-author of the Momofuku Cookbook and the editor and co-founder of Lucky Peach. So overall, I'd have to say that this show is very entertaining, and I even watched it a second time because I wanted to go back and remember some of those episodes that were really cool, which we're going to discuss right now. The first episode is about pizza. Pizza is dear to my heart. So this was a very interesting episode. They go to Brooklyn and they meet with a guy that owns a really cool Brooklyn pizzeria. His name is Mark Iacano. And what's good about that is that they sit down, they discuss pizza, all kinds of pizza. Craft pizza, commercial pizza like Domino's. They even send Mark to Connecticut, where apparently there's really famous pizza joints there. David Chang and Aziz Ansari, they go to Japan and check out pizza over there. So overall, they're checking out pizza from all aspects and all angles. And in the end, that's probably one of my favorite episodes. Number 2, tacos. This episode is especially fun too because everyone just thinks tacos are tacos. And the history and the lore behind the taco compared to Asian food all over the country, from Mexico to Scandinavia, is very interesting. I learned a lot on this one about just plain old tacos and where they came about and how we got to love them so much. That was really good. Episode 3, Homecoming. So this episode's kind of fun. It's kind of like David Chang going home for Thanksgiving, and he brings his buddy Peter with him. They've known each other for like 10 years, so now they're really good friends. But that's a great episode showing family and how they prepare food at home. Also, the importance of eating with family and a meal around the table. He goes to Copenhagen with Chef Rene Redzepi, and his wife Nadine. Sorry for butchering the names, but that's a fun one. It's a little less informative and more celebratory, which I really liked. 4, shrimp and crawfish. Not a big fan of crawfish. Kind of a fan of shrimp. But after this, I almost want to try crawfish. I always say that when I see crawfish, but it still grosses me out with the squeezing the head thing, you know? Ugh. But overall, great episode. Very informative and taking me one step to trying crawfish. One step closer to trying crawfish. Episode 5, barbecue. Geez, this is a good one. I'm a big fan of barbecue. I love the different ways they're showing it's done from all over the world. There's some good cuts of beef in there. There's some good cuts of pork. Again, David Chang getting blown away by things he thought he knew and now he doesn't know. And that's the main thing about all this, is that every time you think you know something and then something spins you on your head and you realize it's completely different, but you still love it. Really good. Episode 6, fried chicken. I love fried chicken. What else can I say about that? Then there's a million ways to do it. And there's a million kinds of chickens. And there's a million different countries that do it differently. That's even better. Love it. 7, fried rice. Wow. I thought there was like one kind of fried rice. Fried rice. But no, there's a million different kinds of fried rice. Like in every episode, they show you the different cultural aspects of it, different ways it came from, different countries it came from, different ways of cooking it. And again, David Chang thinks he knows it, but he doesn't. And he learns some more stuff. That's what I like. Last and final episode, episode 8 of Ugly Delicious, is called Stuffed. Like I said before, this is great because they kind of do this debate on, apparently it's like an age-old debate between Italian and Asian dumplings. Now you're like, Italian dumplings? But yeah, believe me, watch this episode and have fun with it. They do it in debate style, which makes it a little bit more fun to chuckle at. And once again, you learn about things you thought you knew in a totally different way, and it enlightens you. And that's the whole point of the show. It enlightens you. You know, the opening to every show on the series, they'll do something satirical or funny or, you know, some kind of comic relief to kind of like make it interesting. And I like that about the show because every opening is a little different and they try it. Some of it's a little cheesy, some of it's fun, some of it is well executed. But it's season 1 and they're trying something new and I like it. I like it a lot. I like the fact that they don't show every intricate detail about how to make the food and what it is. It's not a cooking show to show you how to cook these things. This is a cooking show. This is more of a food show. This is more of a life show, a family show. It's about eating and eating together and food and coming up and starving for like new recipes and trying new ways and trying to do new things and not only being authentic. This is what I took away from this, is not only being authentic, but authentic to where you are. So just because you're making pizza in Japan doesn't mean you need to import all the ingredients from Italy. You can use the ingredients from Japan and make your pizza regional. And that's what makes it original. That's why there's so many different kinds of barbecue, from the Carolinas to Texas to Tennessee to everywhere. Barbecue across the world, you know, Korean barbecue, tacos, different ways of making tacos. It's all enlightening because it's okay to do things and it's okay to do things differently and not traditionally. And that's what I took away from this show. And I hope season 2 is even better and takes you more around places for David Chang to learn more things with Peter. All his guests were great. Aziz Ansari makes a lot of appearances, and he's great in this too, trying new foods. He gets together with restaurant owners, food critics, and they all discuss things, and they discuss the history and lore of all of it. So I give it a thumbs up. I suggest watching it. Put it on your list on Netflix, and have a good time with it, because that's the only thing you can do with this stuff, right? Is really enjoy it and not get hatey. Because that's one of the things I like to do, is not to discuss things with hate and do it all hate-free. Okay, stay tuned for the next review here on the Solo Set. For the Zero DB podcast feed, I am your host, Gabe Yell, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks. If you like what you just heard and saw, don't forget to subscribe. Also, check us out at zerodbpodcast.com. Thanks.